video solution to 6 1-mark questions that appeared in the sample question paper given by the CBSE board for class 10 math examination for the year 2021. This is a basic version of the paper. We are looking at question numbers 13 to 16, actually only 4 questions, but questions 13 and 14 have an internal choice. So, we will actually be discussing solution to 6 questions. Let's start with 13, the first of the internal choices in 13. This question and the other internal choice, both have come from the same topic as it always does, and this is from a pair of linear equations. For what values of p does a pair of linear equations 4x plus py plus 8 equals 0 and 2x plus 2y plus 2 equals 0 have a unique solution, right? First and foremost, let's write down the condition. When will these two equations have a unique solution? If the generalized form of the equation is a1x plus b1y plus c1 equals 0 and a2x plus b2y plus c2 equals 0, then this pair of linear equation will have a unique solution when a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. What is a1 for us? a1 is equal to 4, a2 is equal to 2. So, a1 by a2 is equal to 4 divided by 2. This should not be equal to b1 by b2. b1 equals p and b2 equals 2. So, 4 by 2 should not be equal to p by 2. So, what values can p take? Cross multiply this 2, we will get p is not equal to 4 times 2 divided by 2, which means p should not be equal to 4. So, p can take infinite real number values other than 4. Anything other than 4 will have a unique solution. When it is 4, we will not have a unique solution. Let's move on. Let's look at the second choice within the internal choice for the same question. What type of straight lines will be represented by the system of equations 2x plus 3y equals 5 and 4x plus 6y equals 7? Okay, let's list down all 3 possible conditions and then figure out which one does this set basically belong to. If 2 equations, a pair of linear equations in 2 variables are represented by this generalized form, a1x plus b1y equals c1 and a2x plus b2y equals c2, they will meet, they will intersect at one point, or they will have a unique solution when a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. This is condition number 1. Condition 2 is when a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2, but that is not equal to c1 by c2. That's a case where you'll have no solution, or the lines representing these 2 equations are parallel lines, right? These are intersecting at a point. That's condition 1. Condition 2 is a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 but not equal to c1 by c2, which is when they are parallel lines and they have no solution. The third condition is when a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 and that is equal to c1 by c2. We are talking about coincident lines. We will have infinitely many solutions. Our idea is to find out which category do these two equations fall under, and then say, are they intersecting at a point, or are they parallel lines, or are they coincident lines? Let's get started. Let's compute a1 by a2 to start with. a1 by a2 is equal to 2 divided by 4. a1 is 2, a2 is equal to 4. 2 divided by 4, this is equal to a 1 by 2. Let's compute b1 by b2. If a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2, we know we are talking about condition 1. Otherwise, we will have to check out whether it's condition 2 or 3. b1 by b2 in our case is equal to, b1 is a 3, b2 is equal to 6. So, this is a 3 upon 6, which is equal to 1 by 2. So, we necessarily are not talking about condition 1 where a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. In our case, a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2. So, of the 3 conditions that we discussed in the last slide, 1 is ruled out. Let's check out whether is these 2 numbers a1 by a2 equals b1 by b2 is also equal to c1 by c2. What is c1 by c2? c1 by c2 is equal to 5 divided by 7, 5 upon 7. So, it's quite clear that a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 but is not equal to c1 by c2. So, this is the second condition that we had written in the last slide. What do these equations represent in terms of types of line? They represent a pair of parallel lines, right? In terms of solution, they will have no solution. The question has not asked us about it. The question has asked what kind of lines. So, these 2 equations represent a pair of parallel lines, right? Quickly summarize it in a printed form. We are computing a1 by a2, b1 by b2, c1 by c2. It turned out that a1 by a2 equals b1 by b2 is not equal to c1 by c2. So, these 2 equations represent a pair of parallel lines, right? So, completed question number 13, both parts from a pair of linear equations. Let's move on to the 14th question. This question also had two choices, an internal choice. Both questions appeared from probability. A bag contains 3 red balls and 5 black balls. One ball, a ball, is drawn at random from the bag. What is the probability that the ball drawn is red? A very straightforward, simple question. Number of red balls is equal to 3. Total number of balls is equal to number of red plus number of black balls, which is 3 plus 5, which is equal to 8. What is the probability asked? The probability asked is, what is the probability that the ball drawn is red? So how do you compute the probability? In the numerator, number of ways of drawing a red ball. The denominator, number of ways of drawing a ball, right? Number of ways of drawing a red ball, we have 3 red balls, so you can draw one ball in 3 ways. It could be any one of the 3. We have a total of 8 balls, so number of ways of drawing one ball out of the 8 is in 8 ways. So required probability is equal to 3 upon 8, right? Very simple. It should take us, right, these 2 steps and you have the answer. So move on to the next internal choice within this, which is 14b. Again a probability question. Throwing a die. A die, only one die is thrown and it is thrown once. What is the probability of getting a prime number? When you throw a die once, what are all the possible outcomes? Outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the outcomes. So you have a total of 6 possible outcomes when you throw a die once. What are the outcomes in which you will get a prime number as the answer? What are the prime numbers among these? 2 is a prime number, 3 is a prime number, 5 is a prime number. So prime number among these are 2, 3 and 5. So 3 possibilities exist for the number to be a prime number. So what is the probability that the number that you see is a prime number? Number of ways of it being a prime number divided by the total number of ways in which you will have a number appearing when a die is thrown. So that's a required probability. Number of ways of getting a prime number divided by number of ways of getting a number. Number of ways of getting a prime number is equal to 3, 2, 3 and 5. Number of ways of getting a number, it could be any of these 6 numbers. 3 upon 6, which is equal to 1 by 2 is the answer. Again, a very, very simple question. Next question, it's from applications of trigonometry. A tower stands vertically on the ground. So I'll just quickly draw what that is going to be. This is a tower that's standing on the ground. From a point on the ground, which is 15 meters away from the foot of the tower. Let's say this is a tower AB. 15 meters from the foot of the tower. This is 15 meters from the foot of the tower. The angle of elevation to the top of the tower is found to be 60 degrees. Top of the tower is A. From this point, which is 15 meters away from the foot, we are looking at the top of the tower. This angle of elevation is equal to 60 degrees. What we need to find out is the height of the tower, right? Let's take a look at it again here. This is what we have. AB is the tower. Let the height of the tower be h meters, which is what we are trying to find out. The foot of the tower is B. A point C, which is 15 meters away from the foot of the tower. From that point, we are observing the top of the tower. The angle of elevation is equal to 60 degrees. We need to compute the value of h. Look at it. For this angle 60 degrees in the right triangle, what are the sides that are of interest to us? One for which we have a measure, which is the side closest to this angle. It is the adjacent side. What we have been asked to find out is the opposite side. So we'll have to find out the opposite side with information about the adjacent side and the corresponding angle given to us. The trigonometric ratio that we would like to use is a tan. You can also use cot, because cot is nothing but the reciprocal of tan. So we'll go with tan. Tan 60 degrees is equal to opposite side for this angle, which is AB, divided by adjacent side for this angle, which is equal to BC. What is AB? Which is what we are trying to find out, the height of the tower. What is BC? That's given to be equal to 15 meters. The value for tan 60 is equal to root 3. Root 3 is equal to h upon 15, which means the height of the tower is equal to, cross multiplying, 15 root 3 meters, right? Again, a very simple, straightforward question. If you could decode what was given here, right? Once you understood what is given here and draw this diagram, getting the answer is very simple, because we know we are going to be using tan and we know the value of tan 60. After that, it's very straightforward. The last question, it's a very, very, very simple question. The probability of an event E plus the probability of the event E not happening, E complement, is what? E and E not happening, the sum of the probability will always be equal to 1, right? That's it. You write that, you have the answer, right? Probability of an event occurring plus the probability of the event not occurring will always be equal to 1. P of E plus P of E complement equals 1, right? We look at the next 4 questions, which are grouped questions, 17 to 20. We'll look at each of those questions in separate videos. Leave a comments about how this video went, And if you have any queries about any of these questions, or you would like us to solve any questions that you have a doubt, post it in the comment section and we'll post a video to help you crack those questions. Best wishes. Before you leave, I want you to do two things. One, sign up at online.maxtute.com to get started with CBSE Class 10 Math online tuitions. It takes all of 5 minutes and less than 3 steps to get started. And second thing, I want you to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so that you get notified every time a new video is uploaded. Spread the word about this channel to your friends and classmates.